Dad's fingers clamped around my arm like a vice, thumb digging into bone. The table was dressed in red and gold, candles flickering, cranberry sauce untouched. Christmas music hummed in the background, thin and mocking. "You will do as I say," he growled, breath hot with wine and certainty. I looked down at the document they slid toward me, my name typed neatly at the bottom, a signature line waiting to erase me. That's when a voice came from the kitchen doorway, calm, familiar, final. "I told you not to corner her." The room froze. Even the candles seemed to hold their breath. I'd known this dinner would end like this, not the exact words, not the grip on my arm, but the intention had been sharpening for months. My brother sat across from me, jaw set, eyes forward. He didn't look at me. He never did when he wanted something he didn't earn. Mom kept smoothing the tablecloth like she could iron the truth flat. They all believed the same lie, that bloodline outranked choice, that being born male made him rightful. Grandpa never believed that. He taught me chess when I was 8, taught me patience before strategy. "Don't rush the win," he'd say, tapping the board. "Let them think they're ahead." When I was 16, he took me to his study and showed me the ledgers, not to brag, to explain responsibility. He said, "You listen, you remember, you don't flinch." He trusted me because I watched, because I noticed who spoke when money entered the room. That trust was the inheritance. The money came later. The shift started after Grandpa's stroke, subtle at first. Dad taking calls in the garage, Mom whispering after dinner. My brother suddenly showing up at the house more often, loud, performative. The word legacy thrown around like a weapon. I didn't confront them. I counted. The first clear sign came in an email Dad forgot to delete. A draft, unsaved. Legal language softened with entitlement. "Transfer for efficiency," it read. Temporary. It wasn't temporary. It was a theft rehearsed as tradition. I felt the hurt then, sharp, private. I let it pass, because grief makes people sloppy, and I needed them sloppy. I asked Grandpa questions he couldn't answer anymore. Instead, I listened to the people who thought he couldn't hear, the nurse, the lawyer, the accountant who still believed in paperwork over promises. I learned about the clause, the one Grandpa insisted on years ago, tucked into the trust like a tripwire. Any attempt to coerce a beneficiary would trigger an automatic review. Any pressure invalidated claims. He called it the honesty test. I didn't warn them. I scheduled a meeting with the lawyer, quiet, off the books. I didn't cry. I brought timestamps, emails, a recording of Dad rehearsing this very dinner in the garage, voice low, confident. "She'll fold," he said. "She always does." He was wrong about that. He always was. The plan wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. I let Christmas come, let them dress the lie in tradition, let Dad pour the wine and Mom play peacemaker, let my brother straighten his shoulders like he'd already won. When the paper slid across the table, I didn't touch it. I waited for the grip, the threat. I needed it undeniable. "You will do as I say." That was my cue. "I told you not to corner her," the voice repeated from the doorway. Everyone turned. Grandpa's lawyer stood there, coat still on, briefcase in hand. Behind him, the nurse, and on the tablet she held, a paused video. Grandpa's face, pale, eyes sharp as ever. Dad's hand dropped from my arm like it had burned him. The lawyer didn't raise his voice. He didn't have to. "This conversation has been documented," he said, "including the coercion, including the threats. The trust's review clause has been activated." My brother finally looked at me. Confusion cracked his certainty. "What does that mean?" he asked. "It means," the lawyer continued, "that your claim is void, effective immediately." Silence landed heavy. Mom's mouth opened, closed. Dad reached for the paper like it could still save him. The video played. Grandpa's voice filled the room. "If you're watching this," he said, Then someone tried to take what wasn't theirs. I raised one of you to lead, the rest to follow rules. I see who chose which." I didn't smile. I didn't need to. The lawyer slid a new document onto the table. Not a transfer, a confirmation, my name alone. Dad sat down slowly like gravity had just remembered him. My brother stared at the floor. No one touched the food. I stood. My arm still ached where he'd grabbed me. I welcomed the pain. Proof always helps memory. "I didn't take anything from you," I said, voice steady. "You tried to take it from me." I walked past the doorway, past the nurse, past the lawyer. The cold night air hit my face, clean and sharp. Relief isn't loud. It doesn't clap or cheer. It settles. Grandpa used to say the best wins are quiet, the kind that leave no room for argument. Inside, they were still silent.